Hello YouTubers and people who just searched Arts Cow reviews for the first time. Welcome to my long overdue review of things I bought more recently on Arts Cow. Right now I'm going to take a look at what they're calling velour fabric. So I will preface everything I'm about to say by explaining that this is my favorite fabric that they sell. When I say favorite, I mean it's like what I actually end up wearing the most. As I've explained in my other review, I really like their chiffon fabric. It's just like easy to wear, but you know, it doesn't have any stretch, so it's sometimes by the end of the day I'm tired of wearing hard clothes. And their velour is a knit, so it's really easy to have on your body. Moving forward from that, it's nothing resembling velour. So velour is normally kind of a cousin of velvet. It's sometimes like a cotton version, and it's not necessarily as much of like a actual pile fabric that velvet is, but it's normally like in that range. Like I kind of think of velour as like the crappy version of velvet, sort of like cheap velvet. Sometimes like a velvet that's on a knit instead of like a proper silk woven pile velvet. What this fabric is, and even though this camera's a little better, there's probably no way to really show it. This is a knit fabric. It's a stretch knit and it's brushed. So I would call their velour fabric a brushed knit. So it's very, very stretchy. So it's like a super stretchy kind of cotton lycra. If it's cotton, I think it's cotton. Like it feels like cotton. It doesn't say on the tag right here, but it's, you know, it doesn't feel like nylon-y or polyester-y. So it's actually really lovely to wear. It's a soft, super stretch, medium going on heavy weight. So it's not like the really light blousey t-shirt cotton, like the stuff they make t-shirts out of that you're gonna end up throwing away really fast because after you wash them a few times they start to get holes. It's like insanely durable. It's not gonna get caught on something and rip. It's so far had really excellent retaining property, like stretch. The stretch stays good. The stretch doesn't degrade. Like the elastane doesn't slip. I haven't had it yet get like ripples in it where the elastane or lycra or spandex or whatever you want to call it, where that's starting to fail. And it's like heavy. So this is the first one we're going to look at. This is what they're calling, what is this? Sleeveless velour maxi dress. And I'll show pictures of all these when I do the side-by-side comparison and I try these on. So it's like, it's a pretty shapeless garment. It just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. It's almost straight up and down. It's almost a column. It gets wider at the bottom, but really gradually. And it's extraordinarily long. There's binding at the sleeves, so this is the sleeve opening and the neck opening. Both have a piece that's wrapped around and then stitched with a single stitch, but it stretches. So it's like, I forget what you call this, where the looper is, there's a looper on the back side and a single needle on the front side. So when you stretch these within reason, it's not going to go pop and then you've got like a little broken piece of the seam. Really, really durable. I forget if you place the pattern piece for these or not. It looks like you do because it's kind of the correct scale for the rest of it, which means that I probably spent a lot of time making sure it was the right scale, because when you auto upload everything on there, like all the pattern pieces come up different wonky sizes. So we'll try this one on a little bit. I've been really happy with this fit. It's kind of shapeless, as you'll see, but it's really cozy to wear. And so this is something I wear a lot. Also, I'm doing these reviews after I've had these for like a year, if not years, that I've been wearing them. So this dress I don't have the proper color lighting in here, but it's like shocking yellow. It's like primary yellow, kind of yellow. I dyed my hair to match the dress. It's the color stays really well. I've probably washed this 50 times. It hasn't faded at all, and for being a brushed fabric, it hasn't even really pilled like I would expect it to pill, and it's not pilled as much as a regular t-shirt kind of would. I don't know if that's because it's already kind of had like pre-pilling done to it. Anyways, then the closest cousin to that garment is called the quarter sleeve midi velour bodycon. So that's this one. These patterns, I've just been, like the graphics on them, I've just been reusing over and over and over again for a bunch of these different things because I've got the few of them set up and I like them, and getting them big enough is a thing, so we'll talk a little bit about that. So this is a 3/4 length sleeve and then kind of 3/4 length dress that's narrow the whole way down. And the neckline is a little different here. It's just folded over and sewn with a cover stitch or cover hem machine. So there's 2 needles on this side and then a big looper going across them both on that side. So it also has the stretch. It's not going to pop so easy, but where it goes around the more curved parts, it kind of, I'm not sure if you can see that there, it kind of ripples because you've got all of this fabric that you're folding over and trying to make flat, but it's actually kind of like 2 different circumferences of circles that you're dealing with. This is a more fitted garment. The sleeve openings are done that same way. There's not the rippling problem because it is just kind of straight. And oh, they do a little printing in here with it says what size it is and stuff. I hadn't noticed that before. And then the bottom hem is done the same way. So that's also a really cozy garment, really easy to wear. I know it's got kind of like a wacky wild print on it, but I wear it just to the grocery store and even sometimes to work. And then the third style we're looking at is called off-shoulder long sleeve velour top. And this one is like a long sleeve t-shirt. It's one of the ones that like when they have like often if they have a t-shirt sale, this will be included. Definitely if they're having a shirt sale, this one will be included. So it's a raglan sleeve construction. So if I hold this up on here, instead of the sleeve seam going kind of from the shoulder down, it comes up to the neckline, which is hard to see with this really distracting pattern all over it. So from the neckline comes down like this, like those, like a baseball jersey where the sleeves are a different color. So it's made that way. The neck is sort of a boat neck. It's really wide. That's why they're calling it off shoulder, because it doesn't really like to stay on one shoulder. They're calling it off shoulder like that's something they designed into it or like it's on purpose, but it's really kind of like a wide neck that doesn't stay where it's supposed to. The problem with the hemline of the neck is way worse on this one. So let's see. So this is the neck opening, and you can see that like how it's really bunched right there. If it had a binding around it, it wouldn't be. But since they're trying to make this like really curved portion go over and fold and sew down, and it doesn't stretch the same, it's kind of like that the whole way around. Is a little bit weird. This shirt, it's hard to tell the front from the back. They don't put the label right up top, which is fine. That's an annoying place to have it. But I always have to kind of hold it up and look at the front and back and look at the front and back and be like, am I putting this on the right way? I did the cuffs in a contrast color, which made it look a little bit more like a normal shirt, like a little bit more like something you would like buy at a store instead of something that you like sort of awkwardly put your own pattern onto on the Artscow website. So that helped it look like normally a shirt like this would have ribbing right here on the cuff, right? And this is just the same fabric folded over in a double layer and put on with a serger. The fabric works really good in this shirt, and so this isn't something that I wear as like clothes I intend to look nice, but I end up wearing this shirt all of the time. Because if I'm around the house, I don't care that the neck has this weird, ripple. I don't care that the sleeve cuffs are kind of weird, and I've washed this thing more than almost anything else. It's been through the wash at least 100 times, enough that like the armpits are starting to turn color and it's got weird stains all over. But like the clarity of the print has stayed completely sharp, and even the blackness of the print has stayed really good. The color representation on all of these has been really spectacular. There's like really crisp lines. It's not blurry. Actually, even so for this print, when I first submitted it, I had tiled it on Photoshop myself and hadn't noticed that there was a little seam where there was a row of white pixels, and their quality control person, or maybe something that they have set up in their software, either way, somebody flagged it and sent me an email and said, we've noticed that there's a white line in your graphic. Is that unintentional? Do you want to fix it? And so they gave me the opportunity to correct that before they just printed it and sent it to me, which was awesome. Really appreciate that kind of customer service. So I fixed that and it came out great. I've washed all of these dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and the color has stayed super strong. Everything on it looks really good. So overall, this fabric that they're calling velour, I wouldn't call it velour. I work in fabrics, I work in fashion, so I'm kind of picky about that. But they can call it whatever they want. Just have your expectations set right when you're ordering it. If you need something to be velour for some reason, this isn't it. It's just a very soft, to the touch, like stretchy t-shirt fabric that's thick enough that it's not going to be see-through. Like the white color isn't going to be see-through. I can wear a black bra underneath this and it's not going to show. Like, it's really not see-through. If you're getting the leggings in this fabric, and it's in an area that's going to stretch a lot, you might get a little bit of fading. See, when you stretch it, like the black is going to fade out, as you would expect it to on a knit. And if you're wearing like dark underwear or colored underwear under this, when it stretches, you're probably going to see it. So it's not any worse than any other fabric you're going to use. So, just order wisely, plan wisely, because that's just how these kinds of garments work. So before I put these on and show you how they look on a person, I also wanted to check back in. This was one of the garments from my chiffon video, and this is also like goes in every single load of laundry that I've had since then. So the problem that this fabric had with little seam pulls showing as like dotted white lines where it's pulling the colored part of the fabric, the color sitting just on the surface. So if you pull it a little bit, then you get this like dot, 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 dot. So like individual tiny little seam pulls have happened. You can't see it really from this camera, so it's obviously not a big deal. I only see it if I'm looking really closely. I've got a bunch of areas that are like 1 to 3 centimeters long that are just like a tiny little white line, and it's not a lot. That it's a little bit more around the seams than it was, but for as many times as I've washed it and worn it, it's absolutely fine. It's been way better than I've expected it to be. I thought I wasn't going to get much use out of these before I had to do something new. So I wear this like over a long sleeve black t-shirt every week. You can just throw it over skinny jeans and it covers enough of you that like you don't see your muffin top and everything, and it's just like this nice boxy. Actually, these and the chiffon sleeves that look like a button-up shirt, like a dress shirt, those are also long. I've come to call this my like Noel Fielding style of dressing, sort of like a middle-aged femme rock star / weird artist look, where you've got like skinny pants, cigarette pants, skinny jeans, you have black sticks coming out the bottom, and then like this big shirt with a quirky print on it. It's the Noel Fielding look. So yeah, let's try these on and see how they look. This one is the off-shouldered long sleeve velour top. Again, not velour, but that's besides the point. This is the one that is like super cozy and I wear it all the time. It's not really off shoulder. I don't know if they think it's supposed to like fall over like this, like haphazardly, but it doesn't do that. It stays really well centered right here. And if you like the way your collarbones look, then it's got that like nice frame for that. I have long arms. The sleeves are long enough, not by a ton, but you know, it's fitting, it's proportional. I think I got this one in a large instead of an extra large. A lot of my Arts Cow clothing I order one size up if it's a non-stretch fabric and I'm concerned that it's going to be too tight in the bicep because my arms aren't super duper skinny, or if I think it is a non-stretch fabric and it might be tight in the hips. But this one, you know, this fabric has tons of stretch in it, and so it works. It's fine. You can probably order true to size for this one and just follow the regular measurements. So that's this one. This one's the quarter sleeve midi velour bodycon dress. So many words. And this is one of my favorite fits. There, you can see there how long it is. I'm tall. I'm like 5'10", 5'11". It comes right about to the wide part of my calf. And so on you it might be a little longer if you're not a tall person. The sleeves, you know, they're calling 3/4. They're somewhere in that range. Having long arms, I like sleeves that are supposed to be this length because most things end up like unintentionally being this length on me. So like when it's obviously built into the design, I like that. It's got kind of a wide neckline and is more fitted here than the sleeveless one, which is just really straight and ends up kind of baggy here. I get a little bit of kind of like, there's like a little bit of a lowness to the sleeves here, but it's really not bad. Overall, I think the fit on this one is fantastic. I like the way it is very straight from the hips down. Yeah, I just think the whole thing is really flattering. You could probably do this in a whole lot of different patterns. You could, you know, use lots of different images. You could do solid colors, probably would look nicely on it. Like color block would be really cool, or like bands doing different elements. I think there's a lot you can do with this particular garment. So this is one I super duper recommend, and I wear it all of the time. I like this one. This one's the sleeveless velour maxi dress, and when they say maxi, like they are not kidding. This goes all the way down to my ankles. When, like, can you see it there? So when I'm standing straight without shoes on, it sits on the very top of my foot, and that is shockingly long for a dress that you're buying from a website. Because on anyone shorter than me, and again, I'm tall, this is going to be touching the ground. So know that if you are a normal height person and you don't want this to be touching the ground, you're going to have to either make it shorter, which is totally doable, especially if you have a serge or something with a stretch stitch. You could take it to a tailor and they could like zip it around with a cover stitch, make it shorter, or you're like definitely going to want to wear it with like high heels or maybe even platform shoes. The fit is a little sloppier. It's very loose right around here, so it's fit just about perfect to my hips. I've got a little looseness up top, but I have that with everything. Like I don't have a whole lot to fill that out. So if you're bustier, there's, you know, it's very stretchy. There's like a lot of room for you to put some more material in there. But the only thing about it that really bothers me is that there's like really no shape in the middle. So sometimes I put a belt on it, or sometimes I wear something shapeless over it / with it. Like on way to style this, since I love putting like real wrong patterns together, is I'll wear like a big loud pattern crop sweater over the top of it, and then everything coming out the bottom just kind of whoosh. That kind of gives it like the implication of more shape. So there's lots of things you could do. You could wear like a big cardigan over it, or I could totally by now have taken my serger and zipped in the sides a little bit. Like I could make it look more fitted, but I'm afraid that that's going to look sort of forced or just maybe like not end up looking classier, just look like, ooh, a tight spandex dress. So I've left it how it is, and then I just use other stuff to like add the shape to it. Um, I put this on just to be around the house. Like if you can get it on sale and put your cool pattern on it, you're probably gonna end up just putting this on in the morning on the weekend when it's like a little bit warm and just forgetting to put on anything else. Like this is just like a really easy, sloppy, lazy thing to wear that you could make look really loud and interesting. So like I've worn this over to friends' houses to like bring them takeout or something, and they're like, wow, you're wearing like a crazy outfit just to pick up some noodles. And I'm like, oh right, my like weird house clothes. Like it's, they don't really realize that it's just like pajamas. I forgot that I also did the quarter sleeve velour midi bodycon in that same leopard print I've been using on everything, which I've been super happy with. If there's something that you're trying to work out, ooh, I like this new dress they've got, but I can't figure out what to put on it. If you can find a leopard tile, leopard looks good on like everything that they make, if that's your style at all. So have fun. Let me know in the comments how your projects go. I'd love to see other people's things. I'd love to see other people's pictures. I'd love to see other people try things besides just the skater dress and leggings and little handbag. So order something cool, put together some more complicated pieces, and let me know in the comments if there's something in particular you'd like me to review, because if it's like a neat garment, there's a chance it's on my list of stuff that I want to try. You know, I'm not getting paid or free stuff for any of this. I just really like having a bunch of weird clothes welcome to me and my boyfriend's closet. So enjoy. Hope your stuff comes out good.